yes.
What's going on, people?
You thought
I don't know what it's supposed to be.
you weren't gonna see us today.
I know it's supposed to be like.
Oh, but we got you good.
Got him.
Yeah. Feeling hopeless, you don't know what to do.
You know what? As we get ready to slide on into the evening, get ready for some good old rest. Guess what? We're gonna have this conversation. Yeah.
Come on in the room.
Come on into the room. Hopefully you have had yourself a great weekend. And Monday was equally as good. So if you're out there, come on in. Jump into the room. Get ready to have this conversation. We won't be on here real long. We're just going to do a checkup on you guys, let you know what's going on with us. We're going to see what's going on with you, give you a couple of little pointers to consider as you're getting ready to enter into the summer season. All right, summer is almost upon us, and you know what happens. When it gets hot, it gets hot. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to give you some things to have you thinking about as we're getting ready to ramp up into summer. But you know what it is. Before we do all of that, I have to slide this down because what I don't want to do is have an attitude with my dear friends, Red Hands. I love Kyrie and the crew. We love Kyrie and the crew. And we certainly don't want to have a reason to have a bone to pick with them.
To have a bone to pick.
Yeah. So we just want to go and slide that music down so that we don't get no dings on Facebook and or YouTube. And if you're on a YouTube, spot, go on and say what's up to us. Let us know that you're there so that we can say hello to you and give you some Marriage Village love. I see a couple people out there going to let us know who's out there. Who is out there in the village ready to have this conversation? But before we get going, you know what we do. We do a thing, and it goes a little bit something like this. The question on the floor is, wait for it. How are you doing? How are you doing? Are you doing good? Are you feeling good? Are you looking good? Are you smelling good? Are you acting good? Are you good? How are you doing? Come on out here and let us know what you got to say. Let us know what's going on into your world. And as you're formulating your thoughts and formulating your response, as they're doing that, the question is, how are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, actually. I'm great. I got no complaints. A little tired, but that it goes with the territory. So
yeah, we had a full weekend.
Once we get off of this,
oh Lord, we had a full weekend
session tonight. I'm going straight to bed. Oh yes, praise the Lord.
Listen, I think I'm going to do the same because I feel like I need to get a little bit of rest. I'm going to do the same. So you said you're doing good, huh?
Doing good. I got no complaints.
Good.
Today was a full work day for me. Jumping back in and getting set up for programs this week. And so, I just did the normal dance that we do. But good week, a good weekend and a good start to the week. How about you? How you doing?
Today was good. It was busy. Man, it was real busy. I was like, I got to lunch. I didn't go to lunch until it was probably 3:45. And I literally it felt like I walked in the office and then I was at 3:45 like that. I mean, I was running like a chicken with his head coming off, cut off. Like it was just one of those things. But we made it through it. We got through the day. We overcame the day. We told the day, you gonna do as I say. And you know what the day did? The day said, you know what, Joe? I'm gonna do what you say because I don't want them problems. The day didn't want those problems with us today. You know what I'm saying? So if you're out there, Go on and let us know who's out there so we can say hello to you. Hopefully you have had a great day. Hopefully your weekend was well, and now you get ready to slide on into rest. Okay, you get ready to do that thing. So before we do this thing that we call Marriage Village Monday, there is something that I like to do. You know what I'm saying? And okay, it goes a little bit something like this. It's Monday. Wait for it. It's after 9:00. You see these two marvelous faces sitting in front of you. That can only mean one thing. You say, what does that mean, Joe? I'm glad you asked. That means it's Marriage Village Mondays. Yeah. Yes, it's Marriage Village Mondays. You understand what I'm saying? Welcome into the room.
Sir,
Again,
yes, sir.
If you're out there, please feel free to comment in the comment field and let us know how you're doing. And if we're talking about something that strikes a nerve or makes you feel like you got something you need to say, go on and put your comments in the comment field, and we would love to have this conversation with you. So today, we sort of just wanted to do a checkup. We wanted to see how you guys are doing. We wanted to let you guys know how we're doing. And then we sort of just wanted to have this, put some things out there for you to consider. You know, put something. You want to tell them what we want them to sort of consider. Give them a little preview of what we want them to consider.
Well, we're going to start in with just talking a little bit about, like you said, just catching up and checking in, but responsibility, right? And when you are in relationship, you have certain responsibilities. Like, and when we are, so from our perspective as coaches, right? We coach marriages, we coach singles, we are coaches, relationship coaches. And a lot of times what we find is sometimes, it seems as though the responsibility is placed on the coach to pull out, pull out everything. Right. So here's what the purpose of a coach, it is to pull out, but it's pulling out what's in you.
Yeah.
Right. Not pulling out or not carrying you. And so tonight we just kind of go ahead. Yeah.
And or making you do something that you should be doing and taking responsibility to do. Because to your point, we can only point these things out. They only get fixed when you do the work that it takes to fix it. When we went to marriage counseling and marriage coaching, the thing that we took away from it is what birthed Marriage Village right now. Is taking on a mindset that I have to be responsible for doing the work that makes marriage work, that makes relationship work. Go ahead.
So when we talk about, okay, let's just jump right in. The definition, Webster's definition of a coach, a person who trains, instructs, or guides an individual or team to improve their performance, achieve specific goals, or master a skill. So something is there to work with, right? If I'm coaching you, that we got something to work. There's something there to work with.
Absolutely.
As the coach, I am working with you to pull it out of you. So I want to correct what I said earlier. We do have a responsibility to pull it out. Yeah. However, you have a responsibility to know that it's in there.
Absolutely.
And then to do your part as the person being coached or the people being coached to be further developed. It is a poor player that expects the coach to run the plays.
No, not only run the plays, but do your job in the play. No. As the coach, it's my job. It's our job to draw up the plays, pull you together and say, this is how we're going to execute the play. I need you over here to do this. I need you over there to do that. And when we all do what we're supposed to do, now the play can be carried out the way it's supposed to be carried out. But guess what? If one person on the team don't carry out their assignment, what happens?
Lord, somebody else is doing extra work.
or the play just gets blown up because there was what is called a missed assignment. What is a missed assignment? A missed assignment is not being where you were supposed to be in that particular play. So if I'm playing football and I'm doing a go route, my responsibility as the wide receiver is to be down the field on the go to catch the ball. So if I'm not doing my part in the play, I can't be mad when the play breaks down when I haven't done my part.
Correct. What's going on, Browns?
What's going on, family?
Good to see y'all on tonight.
Yes. So it's very important for us to know my job on the team is to know my assignment. Know my assignment, because if I know my assignment to the play, then I can now fully understand how the play is supposed to be implemented and what my part is into making sure that the play is fully implemented the way that it was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
But not only do I have to know my assignment, I have to also know the assignment of the others that I'm playing to play with or working out to play with, so that we can all be on one accord.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here's another, so we're talking about, we're just kind of catching up and checking in, but we're talking about responsibility and accountability. And so from our perspective, or from our side of the table, I guess you will, as marriage and relationship coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So another definition for a coach, a mentor who helps individuals unlock their potential.
Come on.
Again, it's already in you, right? The coach's responsibility is not to carry you. It is to show you to point out, to highlight what's in you and stir you to action to bring that thing out. And then as things start coming out, then the coach will refine and give tips and give, and enhance. However, if you are the person or the people being coached, you have a responsibility to show up in this thing and not just expect the coach to do it all.
I think, because, all right, so the thing that you have to consider, and I say this even like with the members of the church that God has placed us over, and gave us responsibility to steward. We say this all the time. I can't make you do what you are supposed to do. That's not my job. My job is to keep you informed to what your responsibility is. And now it's your responsibility to carry out what you're responsible for. It's not my job to make you do certain things. It's not my job to even do it for you. It's my job to make sure you know how to carry out the play and give you the room to work out your assignment in the play and go perfect it. If you have questions, it's your responsibility to ask those questions. I'm not going to know what about the play you don't grasp if you are not saying what you don't grasp. And then once you say what you don't grasp, now when I give you the playback on, okay, this is what it's supposed to look like, this is how you're supposed to carry out, it's your job at that point to say, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you show me what it looks like? Then we work together to figure out what it looks like.
So there is an assignment for every person in the relationship. Yeah. So even as a single person, there are things you are assigned to do.
No doubt.
And not just from God, but there are life things that, things that you should be accomplishing. But when we talk about like a marriage or, a dating relationship or a relationship that is going toward marriage, there are responsibilities and assignments for each person. And so what does that look like? It's not a one size fit all model, right? No. You have to know within your relationship, the thing you have to come to the table, sit down and discuss the things that are his assignment and what is my assignment, right? We got to know in this marriage. So for example, his assignment is to keep us financially sound. That's one part of the assignment, right? Mm-hmm. My response to that, my assignment in response to that is to get in line with whatever is put in place.
Yeah.
Right. That takes it takes some killing of the flesh and surrendering of the will, right? However, we're clear on that part of the assignment. My assignment, one of my assignments, is the administrative functioning of this marriage. And so, for example, making sure things like scheduling, doctor's appointments, keeping our calendar when we have coaching, when we have church things, like it is an executive admin role. I'm gonna tell you right now, just to kind of keep all of our things aligned, to make sure we're not double booking, to make sure we're not missing on things, things from meetings all the way to birthdays and special things, right?
Yeah.
So I know that's my assignment. So I can't get mad if he asks me, well, how do we get double booked on this thing? I can't say, well, I don't really know. No, you got to know, because that's your role. That is built in, that's been agreed upon. So that's the other piece. Assignments have to be agreed upon. There has to be agreement, and you have to stick to it. You have to stick to
Legit.
What you've agreed to.
Legit, because if you don't stick to it, like for example, the example that you just gave, the scheduling. You know what I do before? If somebody say, Joe, can you do this? Can you go this place? Can you do this thing with me? You know what the first thing I do? I'm texting my wife. First thing, I'm going to our family calendar to see if that date is open.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I'm going to do is go to my email to see if it was sent there. If I don't find it on the calendar, and if I don't find it in an email, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go check it out in a text. I'm gonna go see if my wife, if that date, I'm gonna put that date out there. I'm gonna see if that date checks out anywhere in my text from my wife. If it doesn't, the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get in contact with my wife and say, hey, so-and-so asked me to play or to do or whatever on this date. Is it open? Did you get a text that I don't know of? Whatever the case may be. Why? Because it's my responsibility to stay cognizant or stay aware of what's on the calendar when someone is asking me, can I do something? What am I doing? I'm respecting her role because that's her function. I'm not trying to dictate to her what her function is. I'm not trying to tell her how to operate in her function. What I'm doing is doing my checks and balances to make sure that I am responsible for my side in this equation to make sure her role flows easy.
Yeah, and the flip of that, if I am looking to make a major purchase, a purchase over a certain dollar amount, whatever dollar amount you set in your house is what it is. But if I'm going above a certain amount, I need to check in, right? To say, hey, is there something coming that I'm not aware of? Is there something coming out that I'm not aware of? Am I good to do X, Y, and Z? And some people will feel like, well, I make my own money. I don't need to check in with anybody, but maybe that's your house and your setup, right? But over here, there's a structure that we have established that works for us. And if it ain't broke, we're not going to try to fix it. And
Absolutely.
That has worked well. That has served us well.
And we also used to have that thing where it's like, okay, if you're out and it's not going to break the bank and you see something that you probably not going to see anywhere else, go on and grab that. Because make sure, if you look in the account and it look iffy, reach out to me, let me know, make sure it's good. But if it's good, go for it.
Yeah. So, just that is being a responsible human with your relationship. Single folks out here, you have a responsibility as well. So you may not have to check in as far as a role because there's no person on the other side of it, but you better have somebody or some sort of system in place so that you're not out here, going buck wild, double booking yourself.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, how we show up creates a reputation.
Legit.
Right. And so if I am a single person and I'm like, well, I'm single, I just think about me. I'm just worried about me. And I'm, every time I'm supposed to do something, I'm running from this thing to the next because I'm always double booked. That's your brand. That's the brand you are building. And that's how people will receive you. And whether you're male or female, if that is your brand and you're looking to be married to someone, that might not be a brand that serves you well. Right. And so we want to just kind of consider those things because a lot of times, when we're talking about relationship things, people are like, well, this is marriage and it doesn't really pertain to me. No, it pertains. It pertains to you.
Because again, this is the thing. Like when you talk about being responsible in relationship, being responsible in relationship looks like this. I have to care about you. You have to care about me. And if there's something that I don't know, I need to care enough to go digging to find out. I should not just be making assumptions or just coming into your world trying to say stuff when I haven't done my homework on who you are as a person. My responsibility is to come in and do my homework as a person so that I can know. When I don't know, I will. This is the thing. Sometimes you say stuff and you do stuff because you haven't taken the time to be responsible enough to figure out or ask a question about a person. Ask them what they think. Ask them how they feel. Ask them how certain things have played out in their life. Care about what goes on in someone else's life. What's going on, Jonathan Dunn? Good to see you on tonight, bro. But you should care, like when you get into relationship with people, or if you're in relationship with someone, you should care what's important to them. Like, for example, if being on time is important to your person, then that's something you should know. And then don't just make assumptions, ask the questions. Why is that important to you? Mm-hmm. Has anything happened to you to make that be what it is? Because if you don't know and you haven't taken the time to figure out, that could be a major problem, especially when you go to spouting off and you ain't even asked the question or considered to do any research to figure out before you start talking.
And so the point that we just made, we're talking about, everybody has a role or responsibility in relationship, and relationship extends far beyond marriage. We're talking about all forms, right? Friendships.
Yeah.
Work relationships, the relationship between you. What is the dynamic? What are, those power dynamics between you and your spouse, between you and your manager or supervisor. It goes beyond a spouse. And so there are, whatever your role is, you need to know it inside and out.
Absolutely.
And play it well.
Absolutely. Because so consider this. How you show up in relationship in one area, 9 times out of 10, that's how you're going to show up in all other areas.
It's going to spill over.
So if you show up a certain way at home, guess what? You probably going to show up that way at work. You probably going to show up that way at church. You probably going to show up that way in your friendships. So look at the things that you do in relationship across the board and start making mental notes on how you are, because how you're showing up in one place is 9 times out of 10 how you're showing up in other places.
Hey, Keita.
What's going on, Keita?
And so when we're talking about how you show up, how you show up consistently, like the way you consistently show up, that's building your brand, or it's establishing your brand. And we said that a little earlier. So what is brand? We know when we see the swoosh, we know that's Nike, right? What else? What other brands are probably, when you see the Apple, that's iPhone or Apple, right?
When you see that little shoe that have that little thing that goes down, we know that's Puma.
Right. So brands are, look, the LV or even just the pattern, know who it is.
It's the social identifiers. It is what allows culture to know or to identify with who you are according to your brand.
Yeah. And so I used to say how you show up, establish your brand. No, it's how you consistently show up.
Absolutely.
If you're consistently late, you're going to be branded as a late person.
Yeah.
If you're consistently gossiping, you're going to be branded as a gossiper, right? But if you consistently show up with that fire from head to toe, you got it put together, that's going to become your brand.
Yeah.
So this is sometimes in marriage, you got to rebrand.
Legit.
Because you you've been showing up a certain way, and it's not been great, but it's just been what's been comfortable.
But if you've been showing up that way in your marriage, check it out. Ask your friends, ask people who are close to you, how am I showing up? Because 9 times out of 10, if you've been showing up this way in your home, 9 times out of 10, you're showing up the same ways in culture, at church, at work, in your friend pool. in other settings that require you to be a certain way. I'm telling you, if you're showing up that way at home, 9 times out of 10, you're showing up the same way in the areas where it matters elsewhere.
All right. So, for example, if you're the person that, at work, they know you're going to be there early. And like I said, singles, listen up, because all of this is relationship. It's relational. If you're the person that always shows up early, the person that they know they can call on, oh, this person dropped out, we know we can call him or her at the last minute. They're going to be Johnny on the spot to do what needs to be done. That is a solid brand to have, right? Yeah. But if you're never called upon and you're kind of looked at as unreliable, we need to fix that.
And you're not going to get called upon because how you shown up is an indication of how you look at your responsibility. Mm-hmm. Getting back to what we were talking about, being responsible. Let's start right here. Are you responsible? Can you look at your life and say that I'm responsible across the board? Like if somebody, work, church, home, person you don't know, if they need you to show up, can they count on you to show up? If they say, I need you to be here this day at this time for this purpose, can you do it?
And I'm going to say this, if you're irresponsible in one area, like he said earlier, it's probably bleeding over in another. I'm going to say this right now. If you're irresponsible with your money, you don't know how to, you could care less willy-nilly, I'm definitely not giving you my heart.
No.
Right. If I'm looking at, and again, word to my singles, if you are in that situation or that person is pursuing you or they're interested in you and you see different patterns in their lives that don't speak to or don't lend themselves to responsibility, care and concern, it's not going to automatically appear when y'all get together.
That's a indicator. That right there is an indicator. Bro, Pastor Dunn, are you out there? You are out there, can you put some information out there for the people to grab a hold to? What is your thoughts on how people show up? Like if they show up at home, do you agree? If people show up a certain way at home, 9 times out of 10, that's where they're going to show up. And does that also speak to how they carry themselves as it pertains to their responsibility to the things that they've been called to? And I'm not talking about like your spiritual call. I'm just talking about in relationship, in life.
It's funny. So while we're giving him time to formulate, I'm trying to see how we can get him a link. I think it was Jonathan. I think it was you that shared the story of a particular individual when the lights would come on the dashboard, like hold on 1 second. When the lights would come on the dashboard and they would put duct tape over it because they didn't want to see the light flashing. Hold on 1 second. Let me get you this invitation.
That's funny. I want to hear this guy. I want to hear that.
Hold on 1 second. That was he said, "Can I call in?"
Yeah, we gotta get the great Reverend in.
Yep, I'm gonna do this. Okay, if I copy this, okay, keep it going, keep it commenting.
Yeah, because what I'm saying is, it's like a lot of times, and I want us to think about this, because a lot of times we don't really get to look into these things and really start to drill down on these things so that we can, in these particular areas, be better, be conscious of how we're showing up on the other side of our nose. Because on this side of our nose, we can think that, man, I'm doing this, I'm on time, I'm doing this, but that can be according to your standard, and your standard may not be the standard that everybody is looking or operating according to. So I think it's always good to have people that you can say, okay, how am I showing up?
Right.
And let them show you and tell you how you're showing up. Because in them giving you their truth on how you are as a person, now you can also learn how to self-evaluate based off of the information that you receive from asking somebody to take a look.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time you asked somebody to take a look? Can you take a look at how I am? Can you take a look at what I do? Can you take a look at the things that I consistently show up? Am I showing up consistently? Between me and you, when you ask me to do something, how often am I responding in a timely manner? Because these things in relationship matters.
Absolutely.
These things in relationships matter. If they don't matter to you, or if you're not being responsible in that place to take on that it matters, we got a problem.
A big problem. Jay, I just sent that in a text message. I just sent the link in a text. Keita, she said consistency is a struggle for me at times, to the point where I get corrected. Sometimes I'm confused and I have to reevaluate my consistency, because sometimes we can miss it in one area and be great in others. Don't make a bad person, but hear the person out. And hold on, there we go. Hear the person out and fix it. That's growth. Absolutely.
Let's go. Here he is.
Here he comes.
He's coming.
Oh Lordy,
What?
y'all got me. I'm in the middle of self-care. Hallelujah.
Let's
Yeah.
go. So no self-care.
But I think, to what you all were saying about showing up for people within a relationship, I think the first thing is, if your partner is type B, you're type A, or if your person is they play a different position, you have to understand that come in to play the role of the authentic you, but come in with the heart of compliment
Yeah.
and not conflict.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
That's
And I
good.
think a lot of times in a relationship, we're trying to find our own space and we want the other person to fit in, not realizing that that person is trying to find their space and they're trying to get you to fit in. So
Come on.
come in to compliment and not to conflict. So now your intention, your presence, your words, even now sometimes, I'll have a desire, and I'm just throwing a generic example. I'm hungry, and Lady Dunn is hungry. But in my mind, I'm like, as long as I get some food, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
So if she asks me, what do you want? And I say, I want this type of food. And she says, I kind of don't like that place. I'm easy to now compliment versus conflict. I'm not going to stand on my ground and say, but I got to have. Because what I got to have is food. I don't have to have this particular food. But what I do is I compliment. And then we find ourselves complimenting each other because she's not trying to be conflicting. And she'll say, you sure? Next thing you know, we have found a place that both of us would thoroughly enjoy.
Come on.
But there's no dominant, because I'm so needy that I'm conflicting versus complimenting.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so when you take that approach, right? How do you see responsibility playing out in that kind of a circumstance or situation?
Well, I think one of my statements, and I don't want to sound biased, but one of my statements is, I believe that in a relationship, it's the man's responsibility to make sure that the woman has emotional security.
Yes, sir.
If I know this is going to make her emotionally off, then I'm not being responsible to cover her and secure her emotions.
That's
Like,
good.
if she's just traumatized by the color red, I'm not going to go to Red Robin.
Right.
no matter how much I want Red Robin.
Yes, sir.
Now I go to Red Robin by myself,
Yes, sir.
but I'm not going to take her because that's not emotional responsibility.
Yes, sir.
I think that's something that I look at.
Yes, sir.
And me being married, this, I would say this late in life, I've had to realize there's a humongous, and I need y'all to hear me, there's a humongous part of me that has been taking care of me. Like, it's been just me.
Yes, sir.
I make decisions that help me because I wasn't in a relationship. So one of the things I had to work on before I said I do, and I still have to work on now that I did, and that is I have to continue to work on my selfishness. And selfishness is not always bad. Selfishness is just all I had to worry about last season was myself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But now I have to worry about somebody else or consider somebody else. So
Yes,
now
sir.
that selfishness means I have to go into situations intentionally, knowing that I may get 50% of what I want.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
And that's fine. Sometimes I might get 20. Some days I might get 100. But the goal is to make sure that there's somebody being responsible for the other person's emotional security. And I think that should be the man. Unless the man has had some challenges coming up in life, because I don't want to make it a male-female thing. I just think that a stable man should make sure that the woman has emotional and even mental security. She can be secure enough to feel this way, to feel that way, to be in this mood, to be in that mood. A moody man, that's tough for me. Inconsiderate man, that's tough for me. Because I think the woman needs that space as a creature to be emotionally secure. So,
Yes, sir.
but that's just from the Gospel of Jonathan Dunn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. I just saw our bishop come in. What's going on, Bishop? Good to see you on
Pop,
tonight.
what's
Pop,
up?
pop.
Dr.
What did he
Cole.
say?
He said, "I'm hungry." Also, for the best modeled love and relationship, sir.
Absolutely. Let's
Yep.
go.
Absolutely.
Let's go. So I think, I love talking about this because sometimes, like when you were talking about the whole selfishness piece and how sometimes it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that you've not had to consider until now that you've made this decision to be one with your wife.
Right.
How, like, what kind of insight can you give in that particular place as far as like what did that look like? What kind of adjustment did you have to make just in yourself?
Well, the adjustments that I'm making, because I'm still in the classroom, the adjustments that I'm making continually is to not just listen, but to pay attention.
Yes,
Because I
sir.
think some people, they just say, well, we talked. I heard you, you listened, but are you paying attention to the nonverbals? Are you paying attention to certain scenarios? How do they act in this arena, in that arena, in this dimension, that dimension? How do they respond to this? So that you do better at controlling certain scenarios where you don't need a conversation because you paid attention to that moment. Because sometimes a conversation is because we need to fix something.
Mhm.
Sometimes the conversation is because we need to be informed about something. But I think when you pay attention, it's almost like pay attention to a fish. You see how fish go when you put them in water, they just do what they do. Less complaints when the fish is in the water. Fish outside of water, you see them flipping and flopping,
Flipping and
that creates
flipping.
conversations.
That's
So
good.
paying attention as well as listening.
Yes, sir. What you got, babe?
So, because just when you said, as far as selfishness, it's not, that, because I look at a lot of people do look at that. They're like, that's negative. You're selfish. That's a negative thing. But when you are single,
That's it.
and this was my thing too. Like as a single person, I didn't have to consider anybody else other than is the Lord pleased with
That's it.
what I'm doing,
That's it.
And so when it came to, caring concern for another person or preferring someone, over myself, that takes work, in a relationship.
work.
When you've been single longer than married, it just takes work to make the adjustment. I will also add in, and he'll poke me or pinch me or something when I say it. I 100% believe in me time.
That's it.
I do. I don't think that is. I think that is healthy selfishness, if there is such a thing. Because
it is.
I'm making sure my mental hygiene is where it needs to be. I'm making sure my physical, my body, whether it's on the elliptical walking, whatever I'm doing, it's me time. It's not something that I don't need my husband to be there and to complete that thing with me. No, get yourself over to the gym and get on the elliptical. You don't need to.
Absolutely.
I ain't gonna go because he ain't going, or I ain't gonna go because she ain't going. No, get your hips up.
Absolutely.
Get over there and do the needful for your health.
I think certain things are like certain things like that, just as far as like your mental hygiene, doing the things that make you who you are, make you a healthy version of yourself. I don't think there's a problem with any of that, in the sense of, okay, if, like, for example, everybody's not wired like I am. Everybody's not wired to be up at 4:30 in the morning at the gym at 5. Like, that's not her world. I have to do that right now. If I'm going to work out, I have to be up at 4:30, 4:45 at the gym by 5, because I get off so late. And if I know me, if I wait until I get off work, I'm not going to work out. That's just what it is. But for me, working out is an absolute necessity. Working out is absolutely something that I need to do. And if you want to call that my personal my me time, okay, that could be my me time.
Oh, it's your you time. Oh, it is. So now don't get it twisted. I may not be there at 5, but by 5:30, I'm doing what I need to do. So I'm not just, being a bum, like, oh, I'm not wearing that, right. But it's okay to have your time, like whatever works better for you, whatever is needful for you. I'm not an after work person. I can't work out after work. After work, I'm done. Workout is over. Workout time is over.
After work says it's time to take a nap.
And I think even when y'all use that term work, what comes to mind is growing up, and everybody has different cultural norms and social norms and different philosophies and different epistemologies. So I get that. But so when I say this is just, again, world according to Jonathan Dunn. Coming up, I've always heard in secular or sacred spaces, marriage is work. You got to work on your marriage. And I think while that is true, what I haven't heard a lot of, you got to work on yourself. It's like when you get married, there's this notion of losing yourself sometimes, and it becomes very unhealthy because now you spend all of your time working on trying to fit with a person when you are not working on yourself enough to be able to be healthy enough to fit with a person. So I think it's both, and you should work on your marriage, yes. But I think the me time, the times where it's just, okay, let me go do this. Like, I'm a musician, I'm a creative, and my wife is not. So sometimes I'm in the car and I'm in that mode. And she has to find a way to endure that mode where I'm banging Commission, or I'm banging Dave Weckl, and I'm in a creative mode, or I might be in a sermon mode or whatever. And then sometimes she's in a different mode, and I have to endure that moment. And enduring don't mean it's hard. It's just I have to make space to know that even though we're in the same car together, it's a separate moment, and it's okay. Versus me trying to teach her the alto part to the song and tell her it's in this key, and babe, you gotta learn how to sing an A flat, and it's like, no, that ain't what she do. So we're married, but we're not BB and CeCe Winans. So, you know what I mean? So I think we have to be very careful in this. We've come together, but even though you've come together, there is some healthy moments where we cannot battle with separation anxiety. We don't have to do it all together, because then we lose out on working on ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Bishop, He's in the room. He don't slip
He
in.
said, I
Hey,
want in on
He
man,
don't
this.
slip into the
this
DMs.
is
There he is.
so good, guys. I mean, when I say fire, y'all, this should have been something where everybody was in the room when this was going on. But what Pastor just said, man, listen, I am totally working on this with couples and my own self and have diligently heard God on. It is the will of God for me to be committed to you and not lose myself, my genuine self.
Yes, sir.
If it is a falsehood to marry you and then bury me because you want me to be something different,
Wow.
we should be two becoming one. It did not say be the one that God, not be the one that God did not make you. God
Let's go.
made us all. Like I love, he said he doing his music and she ain't got to be CC whining. She can just control the volume in my moment.
Right.
And then if she's on work mode, I need to just hear what she's working on
There you go.
and pay attention. God, dog, I could have jumped through the phone when y'all was pay attention when we're talking to one another.
Yeah.
How many conversations do we have that fall on deaf ears? And it
Wow.
ain't what's out my mouth, my body motion letting me know you ain't paying me no attention. So
Right.
man, I just needed to say something and act like I was a part of this village,
Listen,
cuz.
you don't understand how much this is just filling my cup, just having my bishop and my big bro pastor done
Yeah,
on the
the
line. And
pastor you're sitting with now. We need that out there. We need to do a segment on it
Yeah.
because you know how much I want to make sure you guys were where you need to be. And I
Yeah.
told you, you can do this with anyone, but you can't lose you in doing what you
That's
do.
right.
And this is just great because this the body,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
but
that's
And I
it's
what
the
think
same in your marriage.
absolutely.
absolutely. I think we do better when we are in a situation, as I was saying, being complementary and not conflicting.
Yeah,
If
and
you
not
know
competing.
there you go. It's like at the end of the day, on Friday when we were at the I Hear Music in the Air conference, and my wife was there, and even the other times she's been there. Anytime we're in a space where there's a lot of artists and a lot of people, and she knows that there's about to be a moment where I'm pulled here, interview there, such and such. So I've seen her, and we haven't talked about this, but I've seen her. She gets joy out of just turning into fan mode. She be out there in the audience screaming like she ain't even married to me. She like, oh yeah, and she said that's my favorite artist, and she kind of gets there instead of she needing me during the moment while I'm being pulled as the artist.
Man,
And
that's
it's
good
so
stuff.
good. But again, that's maturity. And we got to remember Tara has been Tara for 47 years before she got with me.
Mm.
So there are things about Tara right now. And I want y'all to hear this because, again, this is the gospel according to Jonathan Dunn's life. He's lived 47 years without me before we got married. So there's some things about Tara that have absolutely nothing to do with me.
Mm.
And I can't
Man, you
try
better
to
say that.
stuff and fit and jam myself into moments with life, some of her friends, some of her family members, some of her cousins, aunties. I can't show up and say, well, she's a Dunn now. Yes, she
Mm-hmm.
is by law. Her last name is Dunn. Yeah, we're one, we're covenant. But I respect the fact that she has relationships with people that if I get in those spaces, I'm only there to compliment. I'm not there to conflict or complete. To compete because we didn't meet when we were 19 and we got the same friends and the same family. So I'm saying that to say that you have to also do a proper assessment of, as we say, find out what book of the Bible you starting in because everybody don't start at Genesis. Some people start, way up
And
there in Habakkuk.
Matthews.
Yeah, somebody start in Matthew, and they have to now find out how the Old Testament, how those books now can be compacted into their lives to help them from their journey from where they started.
Right. Facts.
Yes, sir. What say you, Bishop?
It's fire on this
I just
screen
like
tonight.
watching
No,
y'all go back
I'm
and forth.
saying, like he said, I'm adamant on. Now, here's what I will say: you will in a holy marriage, in a God marriage, you will shed who you aren't in a good marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and you will get liberty to be who you are in a good marriage or a
Wow.
great marriage or a God marriage. If you're not shedding off all the artificial assimilation that occurred in your life through other places and other people, it ain't a real marriage. It's like iron sharpening iron. You should complement, you should not compete. And
Right.
I'm telling you, or what's the word y'all used? The other C word he just used.
Compliment.
Yeah, we use compliment and not the other words y'all use.
Conflict.
Conflict.
Conflict. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You should not conflict or be conflicted, shedding off who you aren't. You should be so complimentary when it comes to the other person showing the real you. If I can't get to the who I am with the one that's one with me, we got a lot of problems. And so, I mean, this why this is so good. I'm trying to calm down. It's so good because this is a revelation to the nation. Listen to me. Y'all heard it first on the village from the Dunn and up here at the top. You heard it from the village. I'm telling you, you got to get to where we stop conflicting marriages. Watch this, by conflating what God is requiring of us.
Mm,
I should be able to be who he made me to be with you. And you don't have to be in my moment to be with me in the moment.
that's it.
Like
That's
Joe
it.
and Cassie, y'all do that so well. And I
Yep.
can toot your own horn. Joe
Yes,
could
sir.
be having a moment as senior pastor, and she's a pastor within her own right. And she will let him have his lead moment and be like, yep, yep, go ahead, Pastor. Like,
Yep.
when can we genuinely get to these extreme relationships? Shameless plug. Extreme relationships to where we help each other shed the stuff that wasn't really us. And now with you, I should be able to be naked and unashamed.
Absolutely.
Legit.
You should be
Absolutely.
able to be and Pastor, listen, done means at the end of the day, that's why it's the last name. So what's your wife's name?
Tara.
So Tara can be Tara all day, but at the end of the day, she just got to remember she's a done.
That's
I'm the
right.
foundation, but that ain't got nothing to do with the complementary personality, character, and persons of Tara. Like, hey, go girl, and I see you at home. When they
Absolutely.
get finished enjoying you, let them know you with me at the end, though.
At the end,
God,
that's
dog.
different. And you know what, Bishop? That's so powerful because Tara already, when she met me, she already had some great gifts, talents, some ability, some intelligentsia. That's amazing. So I've been actually preparing for a sermon, and I'm just having conversation, and she would say something, and I'm like, "What that mean?" And she would tell me what that mean, and I'm like, "Wow, how'd you know that?" And she, throughout her life, she picked up so much information that I've never heard. And I'm like, it doesn't make her smarter than me. It makes her compliment me in an area that I didn't know. She sharpened me. And I how can I say this? I'm grateful. So I don't try to choke that out of her and say, well, no, don't give me no deep words because I'm the deep one. No, I get up there on Sunday morning and I'm about to preach my sermon. And I say, if you would turn me to the book of such and such, and in this pericope of text, the epistemology of such and such, and folks be like, "Whoa, that's amazing!" Not knowing that she told me them words on the way to the church. So, because I think sometimes it's just important. I think somebody said when Jesus was resurrected and he was on the shore, and Peter and them were fishing, and Jesus just said what people do when they're fishing. They can see what you can't see. He said, you're in the right place. Just cast the net to the right side and as much fish. Because while they were in the boat, they couldn't see it. But because they were fishermen, they were frustrated because I'm a fisherman. I know how to do this. But they couldn't realize that they were in the right place. Just a small adjustment. So my point is, when you get into a relationship, the word is called compromise. And when you compromise, you make small adjustments that make you look better. And lastly, I'll say this. I was negotiating something that I never had before. Out of all the songs that I've written and that got national attention, I've never given up publishing. But this one particular time, for this one particular record, it was a different situation. It was a new situation. So the person had to ask for publishing. And I was like, nah, I ain't giving them the publishing. But then somebody else that's a OG in the game, they said, but you got to realize this situation that you're in, if you give up some publishing, now you're going to put your song in two different brackets of category so that
Come
now if
on.
something else happens, your song is now not just connected with this label, it's connected with another label called Universal. So they said, you cannot give up publishing and not get your song on this record, or you can use your publishing to put your song in two different brackets.
Let's go.
So I gave up. Here it is. It's my publishing. I can use it to negotiate. So what I did was I compromised. And in that compromising, it put me in two different spaces. And then next thing you know, that particular song, somebody say 3 checks. Hallelujah. Because I had to be willing to, my point is, I had to be willing to give something up that I owned to help somebody else. That put me in a different place that I would not have gotten had I wanted to keep it all to myself.
I love it.
Man,
I
Yeah.
love it.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and so it is in a relationship. I think sometimes you don't want to lose yourself, but sometimes, as Bishop said, there's some shedding that takes place.
Mhm.
There's some reality that, hey, I got this, but if I get this up, I'm going to help this person be better, but I'll gain something on the other end. So I think it's important to not be afraid to compromise or share, or however you want to look at that term.
I love
That's-
it. Man,
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, we don't know. When they look better, we look better.
Come
And
on,
if they don't look good, you don't look good.
come on.
Because whatever that is a product of your intelligence.
That's it. Absolutely.
So
Listen,
if you wanted
Absolutely.
to look like you know nothing, well, you don't look like you know nothing.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said, if they don't look good, we don't look good. I'm like, ooh, Vidal Sassoon. No. I don't went to an old school commercial. That's when it's almost 10 o'clock. Yeah, my
You can
clock is
always
winding
count
up.
on my wife to pull something in.
Listen, it's always a song, a jingle. It's in here. I remember some things now.
Absolutely.
But yeah, just with the compromise, because sometimes that can be like a swear. Like people hear that, and a lot of times people that don't want to compromise is because they've not been in healthy situations, and so
Right.
maybe they have over compensated and over compromised somewhere else, and so now that fear is there that if I do it again, the same thing will happen. And so, how do we address that?
Mm.
And that's the last thing I got. I know we're getting
Say it
close.
again.
So just addressing that fear that might be there. If I compromise, then what the negative thing that happened before because I maybe overcompensated or I was always compromising and it just was never reciprocated. So now in this next relationship or in this next phase of life where I'm waiting and looking to enter into a relationship, but that compromise is a cuss to me.
Mhm.
How do we address that?
Well, we got wisdom on display here. Listen, who want to go first? Y'all go at it.
Well, I'll let Bishop go last. He's the higher anointing. So, and I mean, honestly, I'm just saying, I like to hear from wisdom. I would just say that it really speaks again to your maturity in the area of compromise because you got to give up something. Any good business deal, you got to give up something. And I think the fear of loss is like a child. A child, they don't. I know I want that toy. No, they feel, and it's like I'm trying to give you something in exchange. I'm trying to give you something better. A child look at a nickel and a quarter,
Mhm.
and you're trying to give them $1, and they'll hold on because they feel like these many is more than that.
Yes.
And I think so. It is when you think from a place of immaturity, you don't realize that your compromise is really your upgrade, your advantage, if you will. And seeing somebody else, as Bishop said, I mean, hey, if Lady Dunn is in a light where she can be all that she is and not shrink, I benefit from that. So I think the
Yes, sir.
compromise is when you're in a healthy scenario and when you're not walking in insecurities or you have something to prove, you don't have to make the other person shrink so that you can be big.
Love it.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Bishop.
Yeah, so I think that's the key word, maturity. And until you can understand that compromise comes with when it's godly compromising, Holy Spirit led compromising, it comes with extraordinary compensation. So
Mm.
if you are not in a godly compromise where the Holy Spirit is guiding you what to give up to gain, because you give to receive, right? Principle, premise. But if it's not, get to counseling, get to
Wow.
godly counseling. You're not matured enough to do that. Fear is a sign I'm not developed in that area in my faith.
Wow.
Faith doesn't have any fear. I've been on this series of living a life of unfailing faith. And watch this, Pastor. This is what the Lord said to me. I gave this statement in Raleigh when I was ministering. I got through preaching. They were still in the sanctuary, praising God for about 30, 40 minutes after. I promise you not. And here's what he said. And it hit. They got it. They got understanding. This is what they said. This is what the Lord said. When you operate in faith, it gives you an unfailing ability to deny failure access.
Mm.
That's
Wow.
good.
A unfailing ability to deny failure access.
Woo.
Faith can't fail. So when you do it by faith, ain't no fear. But if I'm in fear, I haven't developed the faith in my area. Get counseling. Go to
Wow.
your pastor. Go to somebody more mature. Develop, because compromise comes with good conscience. It
Mm.
shouldn't come with what if. No, that's fear. That means we've not grown in that area yet. Somebody may not be able to handle compromise because they're taking advantage of it. Get to counseling.
That's good.
Don't
Wow,
don't
that's
try
so
to
good.
don't try to ride a 10 speed and you just got a tricycle.
Mm-mm.
That's foolish. Let
Don't
a
get
man
them
sit
back in
first and
there.
count their costs. Because y'all talking big merge stuff right now. These
Wow.
are things that you are able to do when you've grown, shed yourself, and all of that. You just got married, just knowing each other. You don't got a lot of understanding, man. Put all of this in good counsel. There's safety in the multitude of godly counsel because we talking grown up stuff on here right now.
Wow. That's and you said compromise. It has
Compromise will come
compensation.
with it comes with great and extraordinary compensation
Woo.
when it's godly compromising. That means you're Holy Spirit led. He's telling you, give them what they need, and I'm gonna give you exceedingly and abundantly above all you can ask or think in return. Watch this from the person you're married to.
Wow.
Wow.
That's great.
Wow. That's
Absolutely.
amazing.
I told y'all on here with some fire, man. I had to jump in, boy, because I'm like, let me get some of this oil. No
Listen,
diddy.
you
That
already
is
know, like, I don't have anything to say because I just, is when wisdom has spoken, it's a smack in the face to try to go over top of that. So I'm just gonna be quiet. You got anything you need to
well, you
say?
know what? And I'm sorry. Let me just say this. I think that the conversation, because I think friendship within the marriage is so key.
Mhm.
Camaraderie, friendship, love in that area. Like I love this person, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be labeled as eros all the time. I love this person that I'm married to, and it makes me think about Jonathan and David in the Bible. And there's a moment where Jonathan gives David his armor,
Mhm.
and when Jonathan gave David his armor, it says a lot of things, but one thing that it says is it says, I'll give you my armor because I love you enough to
God
not
dog.
have to need no armor. Because if I got you, David, I don't have to fight.
Wow.
God
And if
dog.
I got you, David, I'll never have to fight you. but it also means, David, I'm smart
Mm.
enough to know that I'm appointed to be king, but you're anointed, and you're gonna have to fight my dad. So Jonathan knew in that relationship that whatever David was, he didn't have to be. And whatever he was, David, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, take my armor because it shows a sign of we ain't got to ever fight about this.
Hmm.
And that's
Wow.
maturity to be able to understand that the person that's anointed for it don't mean I'm not appointed for it. I just know that this is God's choice in this moment.
Wow.
That's good.
I'm gonna shut up because we'll go another few hours. He said so much in it. I'm just gonna shut up because I got so much out of that. I'm gonna shut right up. But he gave him his armor.
Yep.
He gave David his honor. I mean his armor.
Hmm.
Left himself vulnerable.
There you go.
But
There
he
you
did
go.
not do it without intelligence. He knew David was a man after God's own heart.
That's
So
it.
when he gave that armor to David, he didn't have to protect himself, Cassie, because he gave the armor to David, knowing David could protect him and him
That's
better
it.
than he could himself.
That's
Come
it.
here.
That's it. That's it.
Come when you give
That's
up
good.
something to the person that's better at what you need.
Woo, buddy.
Good God, you can be vulnerable because they gonna protect you.
They got you. They got you.
He knew David had him, and there was not another person that protected him like David did.
Wow.
With
I love
David on his side, nobody would touch him.
Come on.
man.
Jeez.
I told you, he said a whole lot. We should have had a duo preaching thing going on somewhere in a revival.
Come on.
Tag teaming.
Revival loading.
Listen.
Sadly, Joe
Listen.
being quiet because he being humble, but I know he fired up under that jacket. He done bust sweats out his t-shirt and that armpit toe up right now. I know it is.
Well, listen. Listen. Only thing I can say is this: when you have all of this, there's nothing that needs to be said. I don't need to say anything. You guys
Man, I
have
love you so much, man. Listen, and that's that. And again, that's that compromise and compliment to be able to humble yourself that someone else can shine, knowing that mine will come in my own time.
That's
Man,
right.
that's what y'all talking about tonight,
That's
man.
it. That's it.
Giving it up so that there can be more given is what it's all about.
That's it.
listen. I love for people to get to see what we get to have. You know,
Yeah.
not everybody
Little sneak peek.
not everybody get to get this right here. We get this on a consistent basis, and
We're a little spoiled.
we can, you know, to let other people experience this. That's what is more important to me is you guys, man, this if I could just put this and put it right in my living room and just watch it all day, I would be a happy man. Like for real, like
Yeah.
y'all, this right here, I could do this all day and just be quiet and listen because
Man, I love it.
I
that's
love
what
it.
encourages my soul. Like
I love it. I
yeah,
love it.
you got anything?
No. Look, absolutely
I'm
not.
being quiet because we ain't gonna get off. So I'm gonna
I
be quiet.
listen. I'm still chilling on that compensation because that's amazing right there. The
Listen.
benefit that comes along with just compromise. You get a compensate. You get compensated for it. By
God,
did you say Bishop?
yo,
You said by the person.
by
Your
the person
relationship.
that you compromise with, like right now, by letting you talk and have your moment, I get the benefit of the revelation. God, dog, y'all better go ahead. But if I don't compromise and let you talk and don't get the revelation, I cannot have a deeper understanding in this relationship.
Ooh,
But if I
God,
let you talk and have your moment, I'll have a moment with you like I ain't never had before because of the revelation, not just information.
Jesus,
And
wow.
sirs,
I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm just gonna
Joe, cut us off, man. We will be on here to 12. Cassie, do your job. I'm telling you,
I,
because if we keep talking,
I was
Lord Jesus.
listen. listen. I'm just in the place where I just want to keep letting it happen because
Listen.
I'm detaching the battery pack right now. I'm out.
Listen,
Oh,
Because
man,
once,
no, I'm
yeah,
gonna
y'all-
chill right this
Can I-
minute. I'm
can
gonna
I say this?
behave.
thank you both. Thank
yes,
you
thank you
for just letting God use you and just coming on. Like anytime you got these two brilliant, amazing, anointed, appointed minds, just
Man, you got that right.
I mean, I'm good. Like for real.
Love you, Keita. She said we are definitely spoiled. You got that right.
Absolutely. Like we gotta we gotta put this on a stage somewhere. We really need to
We
put
need to figure it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen,
Absolutely.
We talked
I'm
about
already
roles.
thinking it. We need
We
to
talked
do it in
about roles.
Kentucky, Cincinnati, and Cleveland.
Yes, Lord.
So we talked
Absolutely.
about roles earlier, and my admin role, I'm on it. Yeah, I need to lock in and let's get some stuff.
Listen,
I
Do my
am down with it 1000%.
yeah, like I'm enjoying it, and I want to thank you guys for reconnecting myself and this pastor because let me tell you, this the guy I met years ago, and time passed. You don't know who you don't know anymore because time passed. But man, I love this, and I'm grateful because I love these two, Jonathan, and I'm serious about their lives and the integrity of their
Yes.
ministry. But
Yes, sir.
I so hear what they see these last
Wow.
2 days, and it's humbling. And I'm really excited about not only their connection, our reconnection
Yeah, absolutely.
in the midst of this, and the corrections of. Because I'm like, well, I don't know exactly who he is now these days. People change. He a good guy, but I don't know how good he is. I ain't letting y'all stay over his house, and I don't know. Y'all sure? And they like, nah, we can stay over his house. We've been over there before. I said, that's then. And but that birthday party and
Yeah,
that shed and how you being who you are, this great man of God, and with the humility you walking in, like you just a regular is phenomenal.
wow.
And to be there on social media with them and spending that whole time with them just for them. No paycheck, no
Right.
Jonathan Dunn just hanging out with civilians. That should be a podcast. Cause you know how many people will call you dumb for just hanging and you could be getting paid somewhere. So man, thank you
Wow.
for loving them and take care of my babies. Cause
Got him.
I'm not only you got them, you got me. I'm telling you that. I'm loving what I'm enjoying right now. I tell you that. So I'm shut up now because I'm getting emotional.
Listen, I'm so grateful, even just the reality of this whole opportunity to just make the connection. Because again, just like when I met my wife, she was already 47, fully grown. So there's some things that I don't have to try to do that I learned at a marriage conference 20, 30 years ago, because that don't apply to us. So it is
Yeah,
with Cassie and Joe. They already have things that you poured into them through this journey. So now they come in, and while they're yet serving and connecting and being covered, I believe the connection is the greatest part of it.
yeah,
Because as Pop Logan always told me, some of us, we need great connections more than we need great coverings. And we had a conversation one time, me and Pop Logan, we were talking about the difference between covering and bedding. And he said
mm,
some leaders, they call themselves a covering, or a pastor, they call them covering, but it's just bedding. It just looks
Wow.
good. But covering should fit, it should cover the silhouette of who you are.
hmm
Bedding is one of those beds that you can't sleep in. It just looks good. And I
yeah,
think that with Cassie and Joe, there's a lot of history there. But I respect what God has already given them. So now they help me help people.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
body work though, man. That's
yeah,
what the body was meant for. And
absolutely.
they are. They're great at that
Amazing.
any and everywhere they go.
Absolutely.
Thank
So
you, sir.
y'all take control again.
Yeah. And get me back up there. Give me a give me an excuse to get up there and get some revelation and then go to Zanzibar.
Hey, Come on, listen. I told you when you come in Cleveland, my pastor says this all the time about Vernon up here. He tell him, listen, just know he told me when I come up there, I got a friend in Cleveland. And I'm telling you, just know when you come up here, you got a brother in Cleveland.
Yes,
And
sir.
so all you gotta do, you and your wife, just
Yes, sir.
call us.
Yes, sir.
Call me.
Come on, hit that note.
Listen,
Call me. There you go, Kathy. Anytime.
I love it. I love
listen.
it. I love it.
I just love this. Like, yeah, you have no idea what this is doing for me, doing for us on the inside.
I'm
Just-
sure my jaws are hurting. They're gonna be
Yeah.
hurting later because I've been smiling this whole time.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm like, I ain't stopping. I'm like, nope.
And I like to look. I feel like Elf. I like smiling.
like this is
Yeah.
this is
You
Christmas.
look so
in
much
May.
better when you smile.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
I'm messing with her now.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Well,
Well, this has been great.
everybody,
Yeah.
we want to just say thank you to our bishop, our spiritual father, our brother pastor,
Pastor brother,
Pastor
pastor brother.
Dunn, just for the
That
wisdom
sounds so-
and the insight that they laid down.
So safe.
This is what happens when you get wisdom and anointing together. This is what happens. So we want to do this more, and I'm not going to open up any more avenues of anything because we'll be here until 1 o'clock in the morning, and that both of them would have said, "Joe, shut it down so we can go to sleep."
One of them will say, I'm not gonna say the whole name because she might be watching. Just Dunlap. I'll say that. E. Dunlap.
Yeah. Hey, listen, is this going to replay?
Yes, sir.
So let me do this
Yes.
and take some authority. If you're watching this on the replay, there is a scroll down at the bottom, a banner. Man, sow into this ministry.
Yeah.
All of the wisdom you got tonight, you ain't gonna get sitting in the chair with a stranger. This Holy Spirit taught and it ain't brought. So you ought to sow a seed to meet the need of this ministry.
Wow.
Because I know some of what you heard today, people will pay for this kind of information to get the outcome, not
Yeah.
about paying the people. You're helping this message and this ministry continue to get people these kind of outcomes. This village is one of the greatest villages you can be a part of. So I want you to do that for you. It's not to take anything from you. It's to get more to you. Sow into this. All
Wow.
at the bottom in the banner. Sow your seed. Meet the need.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Love it.
I'm gonna leave everything.
All right, family. Rest well. We're gonna run this back again. I know we're debating on run back or just pop in next week. I know next week's a holiday, and most people
Yeah.
y'all put us down when it's the holiday. Y'all don't want to be bothered, but y'all want to be bothered with us on the holiday. But we still may pop on for a little bit, just, at the end of the night. But but we'll see y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Definitely on the replay, if not live. So thanks for joining. We love y'all.
Love y'all,
Good
man.
night.
Love y'all.
I'm gonna holler at you down. I'm gonna call you.
Yes, sir.
All right, see you this week. God bless.
All right, Pop. Love you.